Founded in 2008 by a team of educational and technology veterans, 2U partners with top-tier colleges and universities created an online education program. Their cloud-based software platform allows their partners to educate and engage students globally. 2U's dynamic course content, blended experiences, and live face-to-face classes offer students around the world the chance to achieve their highest potential. Zach Soltis, Senior Manager for Business Development, joins us today to share details of our partnership that includes scholarships, opportunities, and more for HOSA members, alumni, and advisors. We are very excited to find out more about how this works, so please welcome Zach Soltis. Zach.
Thank you, Jen. That was easy enough. That was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to start and thank Nancy Allen so much for her help along the way. We couldn't be more excited to really unveil this partnership to you guys and tell you a little bit more. And she's been a huge help of ours along the way getting this up and running. So thank you so much again, Nancy. So 2U. Name doesn't really give away much, right? Makes sense. So 2U, we are, as we said, an education technology company founded in 2008. What we do is we work with universities to bring their graduate programs online, and more recently, our first undergraduate program. Online education has a stigma on it. We understand that. We understand there are apprehensions. There are reasons why you don't think online education in the same breath as an on-campus education, but we're trying to change that notion by replicating in every way possible the actual classroom experience online. So, picture a classroom. Something like this, similar to that.
Hey, that's a Utah school.
Really?
It's wall to wall.
So, and that's exactly how I remember school. I remember, laptops open, notebooks open, whatever it may be, chatter in the back, a little less paying attention, no one up front and center. We're trying to change that. We see education a little bit differently. Our classes look, let's get, there we go. Like the Brady Bunch. No. What it is, this is our online platform. What we're proposing here is we have face-to-face learning. You have your professor in the top left-hand corner. You have a small class size. Everyone interacts. No one's hiding. No one's not paying attention. No one's having a side conversation. Full interaction. Obviously, you can see the other sides. We have different types of graphs and chat boxes and other features we can talk a little bit more about. But the idea is that we've eliminated the back row. No one's sitting in the back. No one's not paying attention. When you're going to these online graduate degree programs, there is no, I'll sign on once a week for a half hour, fill out whatever I have to fill out, and get it over with. This is the same learning that you're going to experience on campus with faculty, with peers, with other students. We're replicating here. So no back row. That's where that comes from. So we're not educators. We're not professors. We're not faculty. We've never designed a program ourselves. That's not our expertise. Our expertise are the technology and marketing side of that. So what we do, as you can see here, is we work with universities from beginning to end to launch and sustain online degree programs. From the beginning stages, we work with the funding side. Content development is a joint development, not to say that we have any type of curriculum input. That is 100% the same degree you'd receive from North Carolina, UNC, is going to be the same one online. So we help produce that with producers, the technology behind all that kind of stuff. And we provide the technology platform. We work with student acquisition. We have admissions teams, we have post-enrollment teams, but the faculty and the degrees are from the university. There's no I in front of it, there's no E in front of it. It is a MBA from UNC, it is a nursing degree from Georgetown. There's no second rate to it. So how do we do that? Sounds great and all, but in reality, how do you execute that online? We have immersive course content, kind of what I alluded to a little earlier, where we have these producers working to create quizzes, lectures, a lot of asynchronous material that you do on your own once a week. That falls into the same side as we have live classes. So that platform I showed you with all the Brady Bunch heads, that is a live class. Those happen weekly. You sign on. You work with the other students. A professor can break you out into smaller rooms to have side chats, bring you back in. If you don't sign online, you're not getting credit for class. There is, you got to show up to be there. Real world experiences. So we work with a nursing program at Georgetown. I don't know if I could teach anyone how to deliver a baby online. So what we end up doing is we work with placement teams. So you have field placement as part of your degree program. We have teams that in your rural areas, because everyone is not in Washington, D.C. at Georgetown. Some people are in rural areas like Idaho and outside of the country. What we have is placement teams that will place you in your local community for your field placement. Other programs, like our Master's in Health Administration at George Washington, what we do there is we have immersion. So either you will come to campus and learn on campus at the George Washington Hospital, or other times we will work and with other healthcare facilities and bring you to those locations. So it's hands-on learning. You're applying what you learn in the classroom in real-life experiences. We have social engagement. A huge part of going to school is the networking. You never know when someone's going to be able to put in a good word for you, get you, an interview, things like that. That is not lost on us either. We've replicated in many ways the Facebook side of things, and we have a slide a little bit later. It'll kind of outline that a little bit better. But you are chatting with your other students. They become friends. They become colleagues at some point. Lots of different things there. And then support services. We all know technology doesn't work most of the time. So it's a huge part of our business. We're a technology company, and we provide that support 24/7. So if you are at 4 a.m. doing your asynchronous material, and you can't get online, there's someone there to help, someone there to troubleshoot and walk you through it. The same thing for the faculty. Sometimes they're not accustomed to online education. We have that support system as well. So we measure our success a lot of times by outcomes. We can say we've graduated X many students and X many things, but at the end of the day, we want to provide our students the best education possible. But at this point, throw out a couple numbers, why not? 13 graduate programs as of now. More than 8,500 students enrolled from 62 countries. That is actually out of date. We recently hit 10,000 students, which is a huge accomplishment for us, with a pipe dream, 5 years ago, and well on our way to our next 10,000. So super excited about that. With that, as we grow, we're still keeping our class sizes to those small 10 to 12 students. We think that's a super important part of online learning, and hence no back row, so you're not getting lost in the shuffle. You are getting FaceTime, real-time results. 3 million hours of field training have been completed to date, with millions and millions and millions of more coming. Super excited about that. Field placement's a huge part of our business and sets us apart from some of the other online education providers. So that is something that, especially in the healthcare side of our business, is huge. And then obviously, big number, 92% post-graduation job placement rate. That's the reason a lot of our students are coming to us. They want to advance in their careers. They want to move to a different career sometimes. So that's something we really hang our hat on, is we are providing true outcomes. So why does this make sense to HOSA, right? We have a healthcare vertical with 2 nursing programs, a Master's in Public Health program, and a Master's in Health Administration program. Walk you through a little bit. Super excited. We're a DC company. We love working with local universities. We have a very close relationship with George Washington. So a couple years ago, we launched their Master's in Public Health program. This is for individuals looking to make a positive change in the world. And you don't have to be in DC to do it. We understand prices of living in DC are sometimes just astronomical. So it makes it available to students all across the country, all across the world. We actually have students on military bases across the seas. We have a student on a naval ship. That's one of the huge things that I think brings opportunity to people who normally could not get a Master's in Public Health from George Washington. So as we talked about before, the course content, live face-to-face classes, that'll be replicated in every single one of our courses. And this is just a couple of little more facts on exactly the school. It's from the Milken Institute of Public Health. It is the exact same degree you would get attending on campus in Washington, D.C. Quality and rigor of the program, exactly the same. There is no online MPH certificate diploma. It is a diploma from George Washington. And then a couple of our focus areas and class electives. Our second degree with George Washington is our Executive Master's in Health Administration. So this is for those with 3 to 5 years experience in a health setting. That can be anything from clinical side all the way to the administrative side. So these are people looking to move into a mid-manager role, looking to move up. focusing on developing leaders with skills and knowledge to manage health-related programs and organizations. And this isn't just in hospitals, this isn't just in clinics and long-term care facilities. We've seen pharmaceutical sales, we've seen HR, we've seen a lot of different students come through, military students. So super excited about this degree and the options for those maybe a little bit farther along in their career. And these are just some of the expertises that are built through this course offering. Our first foray into the healthcare world was our Nursing at Georgetown program. As you can see, 3 different nursing specialties. We have AG, AC, and P. We have family nurse practitioner, which is our biggest offering, and then we also have midwifery. So as a midwifery in your specialty, you're going to learn how to deliver babies. You're going to work at your local hospitals. You're going to come to Washington, D.C. and work in Georgetown facilities and delivering all these wonderful children. No. But this is kind of what I alluded to earlier in terms of the social aspect of it, because I think, our Georgetown program does it well. They've been around for a while. You can post on someone's wall. You can ask for help with a certain subject. You can interact. You can set reminders. You have your calendar. You have contacts. So you're really building those relationships along with earning your degree, which we think is, super important. Those experiences that these students bring in from their own settings are huge, and they add for a ton of discussion, and these walls fill up faster than you could imagine with, you wouldn't believe the day I had and, the patient I dealt with today. Anything from there to, hey, I have a question about, what kind of insurance offering I can get. These students become good friends. They all attend graduation together. They spend the weekend together. It's great. Finally, more recently, is our Nursing at Simmons program. So our Nursing at Simmons program is interesting because it's our first foray into undergraduate. So we have 3 different tracks. We have an RN to BSN track, an RN to MSN track, and an MSN track. So this has multiple levels of nursing. So those with an RN who want to become a BSN trained nurse, whether that's for magnet reasons at hospitals, can take that track. Those who want to move into maybe being a family nurse practitioner can move from the RN to MSN track. Those who may have already gotten a BSN can do the MSN track. We think this is super important because it's an audience that we weren't able to serve before. Before we were only taking bachelor's trained students. Now we can offer this. So most importantly, what does this mean to HOSA, right? By partnering, we have made available scholarship funds to HOSA members, HOSA alumni, and HOSA advisors. What this means is by being a member and admissible to one of our programs, you are automatically eligible for a $5,000 scholarship. No cap, I think we capped it at $500,000 per year, so.
No, it was more than
It was more? Okay, that's fine by me. As many students as we can get. No, so it's a great opportunity that, sometimes we've worked in situations where we've said, okay, we could make available, a set of 10 or 15 scholarships. In this case, with the amount of programs we have and with the amount of people HOSA touches, we were super excited to bring a huge offering to you guys, and we want to make it as easy as possible. So in addition to those scholarship funds, you may already be a BSN trained nurse. You already may have your MPH. We'll still be bringing you guys information sessions, webinars, events hosted by the programs, so you can extend those invitations. You can learn a little bit more before you're jumping head into a master's program. Some simple things, there's infographics, research from the courses, all these things we're going to make available in addition to the scholarship funds. Important, how do I find out more information? Other than emailing me, which you can absolutely do, and I will give you my email address and contact numbers and all that. Each one of our programs has its own specific website, own email address. You can email them directly and say, as simple as, I am interested in getting my master's in public health. Leave your information, leave your email address, phone number, however you want to be contacted. You'll be contacted within the day. Get an application started if you so choose, answer questions, get an invitation to an info session, whatever that may be. So we wanted to make sure you guys were aware that we'll be launching a partner page on HOSA.org to make information readily accessible for you guys, as well as email communications, webinars, application deadline reminders, to keep you in the loop of what's going on, how to find more information, and then obviously as we add programs, we'll be letting you guys know we're working on actually a PA program with a college up north, so super excited about that. So as those things come, we'll push out that information to you for you to push out to your HOSA members. So if there's any questions, love to answer any. You can stick around, you can shoot me an email if you don't want to ask now. If you want information, I can get it for you. Unfortunately, we had a printer problem, so I do not have handouts, but if you email me or give me your email address, I promise by end of day today I will have the digital copies at the very least over to you.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
So in California, our post-secondary, majority of our post-secondary members are vocationally trained nurses.
Mhm.
So most of them are not, they're not at this level where they
Sure.
have the RN. They've graduated, recent graduates from an LVN program and then want to continue their education. Your programs really don't speak to that student per
At
se?
this point, no. It's an idea of ours where, dependent on how we're able to bridge that gap between the RN trained nurse to a BSN trained nurse, I think once we crack that nut, that'll be the next, so we're looking at certification programs. We're looking at, maybe making a course, like a bridge course between courses like that. So that's something that's definitely on our radar. We also don't want to spread ourselves too thin, especially on the undergraduate level. How we approach that and how that's different, how we learn from our graduate programs versus our undergraduate programs, I think is important, but absolutely something that's on our radar and something, as that becomes available, will be available to, everyone in HOSA. Is there anyone else?
And you said clinical, if you can't get it at their local spot, you'd bring them?
So how clinical works is if you, let's say, are in Boise.
Bingo.
Really?
Good guess.
Should have given up right now. Okay, perfect. So in Boise, we actually work with facilities in Boise, and we have a placement team. So what will happen is once you enroll in the program, you make, put your deposit down, all that good stuff that happens. You'll be set up with our post-enrollment services, which includes our placement team. So our placement team will work with you, figure out exactly where you live, what's in driving distance, what's commutable, anything like that, and provide you actually a handful of options a lot of times on where you want to do your clinical work. Also said, if you're currently working in a hospital setting, there's a lot of times we can do your clinical work in hospital.
Zach, remind me, is there one application and then you disperse it? Or weren't we gonna be able to identify somewhere on an application
Sure.
if they had a HOSA affiliate?
Absolutely. So what we have now is a scholarship form where you fill out all your natural information. There'll also be a drop-down menu because we do have other scholarships based on merit and other partnerships. There'll be a drop-down menu that says, I am a HOSA member. After that, you fill in your number, we'll verify with Nancy, and you're good to go. So we'll make it super easy, but obviously along the lines when you're talking to admissions counselors, they're trained in this partnership. They know exactly where you guys are coming from, what you're looking for, and how to best help you and get that application. Most of the time before you actually fill out your application, you'll be attached to HOSA.
So, is this, can you do this part-time, full-time?
Absolutely.
And is there a limit to the time before you have to finish
Sure.
your program? Can
So,
you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Actually, I have that information. Part-time, full-time. I thought I had it in here, but point being, a lot of times the full-time program is completed in as little as 24 months. Full-time and part-time program is many as 4 years sometimes. We actually do have the option in our MPH program, which we're super excited about, is a 1-year track. So for those interested in completing that quickly, and if you have the bandwidth, God bless you, go for it. We can do that as well. And we're working with some of our other programs and expediting where it's needed. And then obviously, if things come up like family events or you're moving for work, you can defer out for a semester or two and still be enrolled in the program.
Is there a price per hour? Is that
Sure.
how the fee schedule goes?
Absolutely, yeah. We're based on a fee per credit, so per credit hour, and that's exactly how the scholarship's applied. So at that $5,000 scholarship, it's split up per credit, depending on how many credits the program is. You have a discount per credit, actually. So it's
Okay.
not one lump sum at the beginning or one lump sum at the end of the
Okay.
reimbursement. It's actually it's also pretty much a discounted tuition per semester, per class.
Okay.
If no more questions, I'll hang out for a little bit. We can talk, we can chat. I can get your email address and send you more information when you're ready to apply. Works for me. But thank you guys so much for having me. We're super excited to get this underway.